Hi, welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek. I hope everybody had a great week. I'm very excited because I have Monday off. It's President's Day here in the United States, and it's like a reprieve. It's like that extra day. It's just so cool. Now, I'm going to jump right in. I have a list, and even though I have a list, I think I'm going to be all over the place. That's okay. I'm going to start with some comics that I read. Now, I started reading this series, First Wave, and it's written by Brian Azzarello. And the art in these are nice, they're decent, but I'm just not feeling it, and I'm very disappointed. So, first of all, First Wave was combining Batman, Doc Savage, and The Spirit. Now, I started reading the Spirit comics from this same time period and this same, it's called First Wave, The Spirit, and I really, really enjoyed them. But I read 3 of these so far, and I just, I'm not feeling it. It's not horrible, but it's just, it's a slog. And I have 3 more plus a special to read. I'm going to keep reading them just because I want to, see if it'll pick up. But Brian Azzarello is a very famous writer, and I have read other stuff by him that I really like, but I'm just not getting into this. Next, I talked about how I bought the first issue of Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman, and I also read Absolute Wonder Woman #1, and I bought the second and third. So last night I read Absolute Batman, and it was fun. I think I preferred Absolute Wonder Woman. It was very beautifully illustrated and laid out, but this was fun, and it has some really nice art throughout. I love, for some reason, I really like that close-up of Alfred's beard. That's Alfred Pennyworth. He's very different in this so far. And I'm not sure if that's kind of a reveal, but I mean, this is already 5 issues old, but look at that. It's a pretty cool image. So this, as I said, was the 5th printing, and I was lucky that they had it because the reason I didn't buy Absolute Batman before is because they were all sold out, and so I was happy to get something. Now, I started reading Absolute Superman, and Taki really recommended it, so I started reading it, but I was getting so sleepy, and I didn't finish it. But from what I did read, it was interesting, and it was just getting going. It does have really nice art. It was just introducing the character of Superman by the time I started, around where I stopped. But there are other incidental characters that you're going to get to know. And, I'm trying to see if there's another piece of art that I could show off. Oh, yeah, here's the introduction of Superman. Now, this art style isn't my favorite, but it's certainly not bad. So I'm going to keep reading that, and the next time I go to my local comic shop, I did get a couple more of these, but the next time I go, I'll try to get issue 2 and 3, since it was very well reviewed by Taki, and I trust what he has to say. All right, next, I talked about this book that I bought, and this week I started reading it to my foster kids, and all of us have been really, really enjoying it. We only made it about halfway. We're stopping at chapter 4, but each night I read a couple of chapters to them, and we just look at the art. The art in this is so nice. It's so many double page spreads, and in a lot of the scenes, you're kind of doing a Where's Waldo, because we're always looking for the dinosaur Bolivar. And what's going on? Or Sybil. So Sybil is a young girl, and Bolivar is a dinosaur that lives next to her, and nobody notices him because everything going around on the streets of New York, like, nobody just pays attention, and it's really kind of funny. But in every art piece, we're like searching for Bolivar. So here he is right here. And sometimes the kids found Bolivar before I did. It's kind of fun. So I'm really, really looking forward to continuing this. So for example, this, I mean, look at this. There's a mosaic of musicians, and then there's a person playing his instrument in a New York City subway, and then the camera, so to speak, pulls back, and you get this. I mean, this. Oh, let me show it longer because I'm supposed to do that. This book is a delight. Yeah, even the kids, they're like they want me to continue, and they're very excited when I read it. A couple of like about a week or a week and a half ago, I went to the local thrift store and I got a couple of books. And one of them I got was this All the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. I mean, I'm not sure if I ever owned this particular one or if I ever read it. I know for a while it was super popular because people who are graduating, they would get this as a gift. But this is a really, really nice book. It's a fun read, just like most Dr. Seuss. Gorgeous, gorgeously illustrated, like any Dr. Seuss. But there's going to be some fun panels that I didn't expect, like that one. Like this, I come to expect that type of art from Dr. Seuss. It's still beautiful. But then when you turn the page and you see something like that extravaganza of color, lines and color, that still could surprise me about this artist. So I know he was on the naughty list for a while because he did do some racist drawings, but I really like Dr. Seuss. And so I got this for, I think, $1.99. And I was very happy to get this and read through it. It's just a fun book and a beautiful read, actually. I should read some to you, but I'm going to spare you. Another book I bought that same day, this one actually cost $3, which was a little expensive. But it's called The Skies Above My Eyes. And what's cool about this book is it's about astronomy and space travel. But it's an accordion type book that you pull it and the whole book just expands and you get front and back. And so that's how you read it. You just expand like you're going up. It's a pretty cool idea, and it matches the idea of the book. So here's more when they're down to earth. I haven't read it yet. I was just showing it off, but I'm excited to read this with the foster kids. So that was another book that I recently picked up. Now, I went to a conference last Friday, and at the conference there were some speakers, and one of them, so they were keynote speakers, and then they had breakout rooms. And so I got 3 books, and I got them signed by the authors, and that's always fun. So the first one is The Year I Flew Away by Marie Arnold. Now, I went to a talk that she had, and she was talking about how it's really difficult for someone like her, because she is a female writer who is not, I think she's Haitian American. And she said it's really difficult for someone like her, who's not a really famous writer, to write a book that has controversial issues in it, because a lot of the people in the publishing industry are older and white, and they don't want to deal with those issues. And so she was talking about that. And it was a really fascinating, kind of eye-opening discussion of what a person who is working in this field, struggling to try to get books published. And she also read part of this and, discussed it a bit. I'm actually really looking forward to reading this. And she talked about her next book coming out. And I'm actually looking forward to that. So I'm actually going to be following this children's book author, young adult book author, so that I can get her next book. And there she signed it right there. And then the next one, this was for a young kid's book. And so I haven't read this one yet, but I will. to the kids. Screens away, time to play. And this is very relevant, especially in my house, because we're struggling with that. The kids want to be on the phones and the tablets all day. I've had to confiscate them even throughout the whole week. It's really difficult. But anyways, got this one signed, and I look forward to reading this with the kids. And finally, the author of this one, his name is Alvin Irby. He was speaking, and the keynote speakers, they talk about their lives and what they've done, and he's done a lot. He started or helped start this program called Barbershop Books, I think. Sorry if I got that wrong, but he was talking about this, and then as he was up there, I was reading this really quickly, and I was laughing. This thing is hilarious. So it's called Gross Greg, and Gross Greg loves to eat his own boogers. And I was seriously chuckling while he was up there talking. And I got to read just a little bit of this to you. So look at him. He's got his booger on his finger, and his younger sister's there. And he says, "You call them boogers. Greg calls them delicious little sugars." And then here he is. Look at him. He's like, "Yum." And he says, "Do you eat your boogers? Greg thinks you should. At least one a day. That would be good." I'm not going to read, just a couple more pages. So here he is in the pool, and he's got a booger on his finger right there. "Boogers during the summer satisfy his appetite just fine. But if you ask Greg for one, he'll respond, 'No, they're all mine.'" So I'm not going to read anymore, but I was also chuckling because look, there's a nutrition panel about boogers on the back. This book is just a delight. It's hilarious. And yeah, he signed it for me, Gross Greg. Yeah, I just got a really good kick out of this, and he was a really good keynote speaker as well at the conference. I enjoyed it. So 3 books that I got. Now, the next thing I have on my list is that Captain Strangelife and I will be doing a live stream on Sunday, 2:00 my time. Might be 12. I don't remember. I wrote it down because I'm really bad with that. But either tonight or tomorrow, I will be making the notification for that to go out. This week, I bought a couple of things on OfferUp. Now, the first thing that I bought on OfferUp was, oh my gosh, I bought a whole bunch of albums. Now, as you can see, some of them are in ragged shape. Now, this guy was, he had a bunch of albums, and he was like, "Hey, would you just take them for 20? And there were a couple that I really liked. And he said he would drop them off. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Now, some of them are going to be in bad shape, but there's a couple in here that are keepers. And for that reason, I decided to get them. So I'm going to show them off. Now, the first one is a keeper. I mean, look at this. It's called Famous German Hunting Music. Now, who doesn't want to listen to that? And like the guy's pointing up the barrel of the gun right at you. That's hilarious. I'm so glad to get this. Now, I lived in Saudi Arabia for a year, and so this was somebody that I started to know about, and that's Fairuz. And even though this is not a great album with the punch, I'm very interested in listening to this one, even though it doesn't have a great cover. So this one is kind of breaking my rule about buying them just for the art. This one, I sincerely just want to listen to it. Now, this one, Chantel, I don't know if that's a G or C, Chantel Goya, and Voulez-vous danser, grand-mère? So that one is like, do you want to dance, grandma? I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's hilarious. And I was like, nope, I gotta have it. Like, look at this. Oh, you know what? It feels really light. It might not even have the album inside. Oh, yeah, thank goodness it does. Yeah, Chantal Goya, ABCD, Davy Crockett, Dans Notre Maison, inside of our house. Well, Obviously, it's going to be kids' music, but I mean, this is just hilarious. Now, this one I was sad. It's a little beat up, but it is The Sounds of Christmas. The original Christmas sound effects record, The Sounds of Christmas. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be really that good or not, but well, it came with the $20. Let me move these over. Now, here's another one that I saw, and I really wanted it. Now, this is Sweden's rollicking. Okay, now that's an A according to oh my God, now Morton Estad. So I really forget names on the spot. So I had to stop and think. But according to Morton, that's an A. So that's Ajabo Karen. Oh, that's a Karen. All right. So this is favorite songs sung in Swedish with orchestra. Wow. How much fun is that? I mean, Frisdalsdans number 2. I'm not going to read more of those because I'm just going to get in trouble with Morton. Okay, look at this one. German beer drinking music. So, oh my Lord. How much fun is this? Come on. Oh, I can't wait to listen to these. Okay, this was one I wanted. I saw the simplicity of the art on this, and I like this album. So, The Music of Hungary. I mean, you got to admit, these are going to be, if nothing, just a really interesting listen. Okay, this one was in bad shape, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but, you know, it is what it is. So this is the world's greatest jazz band of Yank Lawson and Bob Haggart. Yeah, if this were in mint condition, this might be really nice. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but... But as it stands, I don't know if I'll be keeping this one, but I'm definitely going to give it a listen. And this one I was really, really sad about. It's in terrible condition, but man, I'm going to try to fix this or something. I got to clean it up. It's dirty, but oh man, if this were in mint condition, this would be just gold. The Names of Dixieland. Wild Bill Davis. There's just a whole bunch of people here. I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of different people. I'm just not sure what this is, but man, that cover is gorgeous. Here's another one that's just in a horrible. I mean, like, look, it opens up like this. But I took it because of the cover. Now, I don't know if this will clean up. I don't know if I can fix this. It's probably just for the best to try to find a different one. Like the back's all nasty. What is that stuck on it? I don't even know. It's gross just touching it. But Hawaiian War Chant. Oh, just touching that made me itchy. Okay, here is Jack Teagarden swinging down in Dixie. And again, this isn't in great shape, but if I can clean this up, that would really pop. Music of Bulgaria. Just like weird stuff. Now, I got an itch. This one I didn't want, but again, I like the pan flutes. Ever since I heard Zamfir when I was young. So this is like a pan flute album, and I was like, well, let me just take it and listen to it at least. Now, here is a companion to that other album, the new German beer drinking songs. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm going to have to drink some beer for some of these albums. And look at this cool album, A Visit to Finland. And they use the word smorgasbord. A smorgasbord of Finnish pops by famous Helsinki artists. Okay, that's going to be fun to listen to. Now, this one is in bad shape, and I'm kind of sad. It's like all... bleh. And because these are the kind of like the Latin Love. This one is probably going to have to go in the trash. I'll try to listen to it, but it's too damaged. And then, okay, I'm going to save the best one for last. This one was Yodeling in the Tyrols. Okay, a yodeling album. I'm definitely going to be listening to this. I love what people can do with their voices. And so yodeling, yes. And finally, this was the album that I wanted most, and it is in good condition. Look at this beautiful album. Songs of the Norwegian Fjords. I mean, even without cleaning, it's gorgeous. Look at this thing. And it's got sketches on the back. I mean, yeah, that's gold. So what did you think of my $20? Was it $20 well spent, or was that like, no, you shouldn't have done it? But they were hand delivered to my house for $20. Okay. I also bought some books from somebody, and I also traded some of I gave him Why the Last Man, the 5-book set, but also some money for some books that I'm going to show. So most of them are Haruki Murakami books. So first, I got these two in this series. So I got After Dark, and I got Sputnik Sweetheart. And I already have 2 in this series, and so that brings my total to 4. 2 plus 2, Killing Commendatory and First Person Single. I actually started reading this, and I need to get back into it. So now I have 4 of these, and I might buy some more on eBay, because once you start your collection, you just got to keep it going. But I also had some... Oh, wait, there's some more Haruki Murakami books, so I want to show this one off. He also had one of the hardback versions, and they're vintage classics. And this is an Obi strip, which is weird but fun. And it has wraparound art like this. This is gorgeous, and I got this for a fraction of what it costs new. So I was very happy to get this, and there's also a set of these, so I might have to get some more of those. And finally, he had the two sets so far. I looked it up. There's 3 of these. The third one is coming out in April. These Haruki Murakami manga stories. And I started reading them, and I've read 2 of these 3 so far. And man, are they fun. The Second Bakery Attack and Samsa in Love. So in the first one, The Second Bakery Attack, I'll show you some art. Oh, and there's a lot of Japanese onomatopoeia in this. It's very, very manga, but so much fun to read. There's a guy who's newly married, and he talks about possibly having a curse because of doing something wrong when he and his friend robbed a bakery, but all they did was take food. They didn't take any money. And so the wife decides that they need to break the curse. It's pretty funny. They need to break the curse by going and robbing another bakery. And they're driving everywhere. Nothing is open except the McDonald's. And when they go into the McDonald's, this cracked me up. So she says, "Welcome to McDonald's." And then when they put on their mask, she's like, "Eat." I really, really enjoyed this. The next one was Samsa in Love. And this one is something wakes up, and he wakes up as Gregor Samsa. So it's like a flip on the Metamorphosis. Oh God. I can't remember the guy's name, Kafka. And so we don't know what he was. Maybe he was an insect, and he just wakes up with Gregor Samsa as Gregor Samsa, and he can remember some things about Samsa's life. And like at the very beginning, he's struggling to use his body and be like acquainted with his body. And then as like you could see him like trying to move his fingers, and it was really good. But then after he gets downstairs and he he's feeling human needs like to eat, this strange woman shows up because she needs to fix a lock. And his body responds so the woman is a hunchback, but his body responds in a very typical way. And the interplay between the two is quite funny. This was a lot of fun to read. So I'm looking forward to reading the third one and to reading the ones in this. There's something sticky on. Oh, it was a stick. I was like, what is that sticking on it? Next, he had 2 art books by Taschen. I'm not going to show this because there's a lot of kind of nudity and overt sexuality and in this artwork. If you haven't ever checked out Geiger, you really need to. And if you didn't know that Geiger was the inspiration for the art and the design of the first Alien movie, he was. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous little book, and I could show this off. So there's just a lot of like, I opened up to something and yeah, I can't show it. So I got this and very happy too. And he also had this Bosch. Now I actually have the Taschen really big version of this, but for the price that he was selling, I was like, no, I'm definitely going to get it. So this is the complete works. And you know, I mean, anytime you can get a cheap art book, you got to pick it up. And I mean, I got it cheap. So there's Geiger and Bosch. And that's not it. I got 4 more to show off. So in the set of books that I got 2 Borges from the Penguin. So now I'm going to be able to read these. I'm very excited to start reading some short stories. And I actually have a collection of these Penguin cloth mounds. And so I was very happy to get this. I got Dracula and The Inferno. Now, these are books that I have multiple editions of. I don't care. I'm very happy to have more in this series. I've got like at least a shelf full. And there are these, you know, they're gorgeous additions to my book library. So it seems like I spent a lot, right? But it was all secondhand stuff, and I made a trade for some of it. Okay, so next I'm going to be talking about. Oh, where's my iPad? I'm going to be talking about the movies that I watched. So I watched. I'm not sure if I talked about this one or not, but I watched The Wild Robot a while back, and I think I forgot to talk about it. The Wild Robot is an animated movie about, let me see if I can find it. Let me show the picture. Where is it? Here it is. So it's about a robot who doesn't have a purpose. It lands in a place where it's not supposed to be, and after making a horrible mistake, it realizes it has a purpose. And that is to raise this duckling because he inadvertently kills the family of the duckling. And he, of course, the robot doesn't understand right and wrong, but slowly over time, with the help of other forest creatures, does. This is a beautifully animated movie. And even though it's a kid's movie and, you know, it's got contrivances for children, I was in the entire time. What a beautiful movie. And I realized later that this is actually nominated for an Academy Award. So that's going to be cool. I'm actually going to be watching another of the Academy Award animated movies tonight with my kids. So I'll be able to discuss that one next week. That one's called Flow, about a stray cat. The next one I watched was very, very different. And this was one that my daughter told me that you need to watch. And she told me for a while that I need to watch it. And now I can't find the picture, even though I know I took a picture of it. Okay, that just bugs me to no end. Hold on, let me see if it's somewhere else. But it's The Menu. And so The Menu is a movie. I'm just like, I know I downloaded a picture. And so I know if I did that, oh God. And there's another one here that I didn't get. Ooh, that makes me mad. Okay, so I prepared it, and then I didn't transfer the photo over to my iPad. But anyways, The Menu is starring the one I know the female actress's name, face, but I don't remember her name. But it's a it's about a world-renowned chef played by Ray Fiennes, who is who invites all these people to his island, and they have this like amazing meal. And then, they come by boat and then they leave. And it's for like the ultra elite. But this is going to be his last meal that he creates, and he has brought everyone to the island for a purpose. But there's one snag in his plan. This is a dark movie that is a lot of fun. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into when I started watching this movie, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's weird, it's dark, and it's so much fun. If you like chef movies, well, this one is going to be out there for you. Okay, the next one I watched was a movie called Significant Other, and dang, I didn't transfer the picture over, but this is about two people who go backpacking in the woods, and then something strange happens. And I'm not going to ruin it for you. I really enjoyed this movie because I had no idea what it was about. I just knew that two people were backpacking in the woods, and then, something happens. And this movie actually had a twist in it that I didn't see coming. It was well done. Is it going to be it's going to be the best ever? No. But for what it is, I really enjoyed it. So it's sci-fi, definitely sci-fi. It's a lot of fun. This is definitely a great kind of dark sci-fi popcorn movie that you will enjoy. It's not the edge of your seat kind of movie, but it's still a lot of fun. I recommend it. And the next one was Mr. E, the Low Grade King. He wrote me, is like, hey, I watched this movie last night and you should watch it. So I did, and it was called Food of the Gods, and it was based on an H.G. Wells movie. Now, this movie was so hilarious. Now, in a bad way, but it was a fun movie, but it's ultra low budget. But for what they had in their budget, they pulled off some great shots. And it's about this stuff that comes bubbling out of the ground, and these people try to market it. And they start feeding it to their chickens, and the chickens become enormous. Well, unbeknownst to them, like the rats break in and start eating some of it, and some of the insects get a hold of it. And so there are all these like gigantic rats and worms, and what else? The rats, the worms, the chickens. There was one other thing. Oh, mosquitoes, wasps, not mosquitoes, wasps. And this was fun. Super low budget. But the funny thing was, the comments, like I read about the movie, and like the critics blasted this, saying it's like the worst movie ever. It's so B-movie bad, that it is so much fun to watch. Now, I do have a qualm. I don't know how they treated the rats in this movie, but they looked like they were not having a good time. Like, they were shooting the rats, and it looked like they were hitting them with like blowguns and like, paintballs, and they were like sweating. The rats would go flying like this, and I just thought, I hope they're not really hurting them or killing them, because sometimes they would blow apart. I don't know. That made me a little concerned. But I'm going to show you, like, here's a scene. And for a low budget movie, I mean, it looks real. Like, look at all these rats climbing all over this house while these people drive up. And I don't know if you can see that. If you don't like rats, you are not going to like this movie, because these rats are everywhere, and the rat attacks are pretty gruesome. Here's another one where you can see the people like trying to escape, and all the rats are being flooded, and it's just rising up. And this is like one of the final scenes of the movie. But I do have a short clip of it. I'm going to show it to you. So let's get ready. Get your popcorn. It's 13 seconds. Wait, where's the thing? Oh, hold on. My volume's way down. Go back. Okay. Okay, so that's going to give you an indication of what the movie is like. If you thought that scene was gross, then you're going to want to watch this movie, or maybe not. The acting is funny. I don't know. I want to thank Mr. E for getting me to watch this movie, because it's definitely worth watching for how bad it is and how good it is at the same time. It's like one of those, let me say, it's definitely a step above what's that movie the Danish movie with the the Godzilla Danish movie. I forget what that one's called. It's a step above that, but not by much. All right, we're done with the movies that I saw. The Academy Awards nominations came out, so I kind of talked about that. I'm going to be watching more of those as the weeks go by, so I'll be talking about those. Now, MetaRog has a contest, and I went ahead and joined it, and you have until tomorrow to make a video. It's very late now, but he is doing a live stream tomorrow, I think, in the afternoon or late afternoon. And he's going to be announcing the winner. And then on his stream on Tuesday, they get to pick 40 or 50 back issues that he has doubles of. And the books that he has on offer are nothing to sneeze at. They're nice. And I want to win that contest because those books are so cool. So anyways, Donald Rex also is having a contest, and I still have to make a video for him. So Donald Rex is having a contest, and he's giving away a gorgeous, like, big EC book. And his video is so good because Donald, like, reads every panel and focuses in, and you get to just sit back and enjoy the art of a book that you may or probably in your life will never read. So he reads it for you, and it's so much fun. And I'm encouraging everyone to go watch his video, and if you could win that book, that's a really, really cool book, and it's probably not cheap on the market. And even if it is, it's such a nice book to have in your collection. So it's like a treasury sized of an EC book, and it's really cool. So I hope that will bring. I think his contest is a push to 400 subs. I do want to mention that Hall sent me some books, and he sent me his sticker. And I need to get stickers because I think this is so cool. Hall Comics. The final thing I have to talk about are some books that I read. And so this is almost over because I only read three books. So the first one was C.S. Lewis, Out of the Silent Planet. And I really like that cover. So this is his sci-fi trilogy. And I guess he and another writer, it might have been, was it the guy who did was it Tolkien? I don't know. He got together with someone really famous, and they challenged each other. And so he wrote a sci-fi series. And I think originally he was supposed to write a time travel book, and he didn't. And the other one wrote about space, or maybe the opposite. Sorry, I should not have told that story because I do not know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this is the first in his trilogy, and I was very curious about it because his writing often has a very religious slant to it. And I wanted to, he's such a famous writer that I wanted to get around to these books eventually. So I read this, I listened to it, and I really enjoyed it. It was very, very much like an Edgar Rice Burroughs novel where someone gets into a spaceship. And in this book, Someone is forced into a spaceship. They travel. They talk about the journey, and it's very interesting, the details of it. And then when they get to the planet, the guy is like learning everything and trying to survive and coming across the inhabitants. And the guy in who's telling the story is a linguist, and so he's able to start communicating with the inhabitants of the planet that he's on. And it was very fascinating, and I was really trying to focus on whether there was a lot of religion tucked into the book, and I didn't get much. There were some kind of angel-like beings, and but there is morality in this book for sure. There's definitely ideas of colonialism and what's that one colonialism where I forget what it's called, but it's basically the strong get all the property. Oh, not eminent domain. Sorry, I can't remember that either. But I think you know what I'm talking about. This book has all that kind of stuff, all those ideas in it. But I didn't really see a lot of religion beside the morality. There's definitely morality in the book and how you should act, how you should treat others. But I guess the second book, which is called Paralandra, I think that one goes into religion a lot more. And I actually have that one on hold, and I'm waiting for that one to come. That was C.S. Lewis, Out of the Silent Planet. If you like Edgar Rice Burroughs, you really should give this one a listen or a read. Next, I think I already talked about last week that I finished Richard Stark's Comeback, which was, I think, the 17th Parker novel. And this was after a hiatus of, I think, like 16 years. And very, very enjoyable. And I'm actually in the middle of the next book now, which is called Backflash. That one's just like all the other ones. They're great books. And then the final book that I'm going to talk about is I listened to my first Agatha Christie novel, and it's Towards Zero. Now, there's two reasons I picked this one first. Number one is because I have the book on my shelf, and I'm like, if I've got the book, I at least want to have some way to like, oh, at least I read this or listened to it. And then I have a couple of her books, so I was looking for which one to read first, and I believe it said that this one of all her novels was her favorite, and I really did enjoy this book. It's totally a whodunit. It's about, you know, a group of people in a room and trying to figure out who killed somebody. And so you got all of this set up, and then you have to wait to get the payoff. And it has a very strange twist. It ends up being someone you really wouldn't think, but the clues were there all along. It's she did a great job, and I fell for it, and I really liked this book. I liked her writing style. I guess she's the queen of mystery for a reason. I already have another one of her books in my queue, and I'm going to go ahead and listen to that. So for my first Agatha Christie, I've read some of her short stories, but for my first Agatha Christie novel, I was very pleased. And that is my Friday night chat. Please go out and sub Metarog, Hall Yeah Comics. Don't forget to watch if you can, the live stream I'm going to have with Captain Strange Life. Please watch Donald Rex's video and give his video a like and a sub, and please promote his video in yours so that he can get to 400. And I hope everybody gets to have Monday off, like I do if you're in the United States. I mean, other countries won't have that day off. But as always, I want to thank all of you for the support.